Hey everyone, it is the 4th of May. The time right now is just 3:30 and the temperature is 9 degrees. It's very sunny, it's feeling warmer than that, but it is only 9 degrees, and actually for the past couple of days we've been having here in Helsinki and the surrounding areas and in Finland in general snow, so that's very, very unusual. I'm currently in Helsinki, as I guess most people who follow this channel will know, and I traveled back for a visit for about a month, and I'm back in Singapore in June. So right now we're in central Helsinki, just behind me is the central railway station and the market square surrounding that area. And we're walking walking on Mikonkatu towards Aleksanterinkatu, some of the main streets in Helsinki. It's definitely a lot nicer weather than the last time I was here. It's sunny, blue skies, and it's really starting to feel like early summer. We had 1st of May or May Day, which we call Vappu in Finnish, on the 1st of May, not surprisingly. And the whole town was full of people celebrating finally, because the pandemic has meant virtual Vappu celebrations for quite a while. So now people were able to go out the street, especially students, and go for brunch with friends in the parks and all of that. So it's been a busy week, I guess, in central Helsinki especially. And now turning on to Aleksanterinkatu, which is one of the main shopping streets here. It's not a super busy day. There is a strike going on that stops most of the kindergartens and some of the sort of official offices from opening, even some sort of sports facilities, that sort of thing, staying closed today. And I think that meant that some people had a day off, even though it's not really the way you want to get a day off, but it means more people are out and about. Probably still some people also working from home, so we're seeing more lively city center right now. It's also nice to see some tourists back in the city center. Just tried to see, the last time I was here they had something about Singaporean coffee around here, but I think that's a thing of the past now. Don't see it right now. I'll cross here and make our way towards Esplanade and the park there. Most trees are still sort of missing leaves. They're just about to start appearing, so it's more of a spring look than a summer look, I'd say. Well-known Fatser kahvila cafe here. Yeah, nice to see tourists coming back to the city as well. I've seen a lot of people walking around with cameras and clearly visiting the city for basically to tour it. I won't say the first time, won't know that really. But I think a fair few locals out today as well. restaurants here are suddenly quite busy with late lunch. We'll go into the park for a little bit. It's such a nice weather today. The sky has been really blue, but it is also a very, very cold wind. And Helsinki being on the seaside means that the wind is often making it feel very, very cold. Now it's really nice and warm though. Doesn't feel like that 9 degrees. I think it will be really nice here. In just a few more weeks we'll have really lovely park views here. It's a little bit still behind from what it would usually be, I think. But you can already start seeing some green on the trees here. Actually, I think I heard on the weather forecast that the weather is about at least a week behind the usual temperatures. And so when I arrived here, instead of the last days of April, it was snowing quite a lot actually. Then for a couple of days it snowed, and I think not every day, and it's not snow that stays on the ground, but I definitely wasn't expecting that. That is not at all usual. Here's the lovely kappeli. That would be a chapel, one of the sort of iconic restaurants around here. It's very beautiful and now open after renovations. There are tourist buses as well, which I've just seen today. It's good to see that. Although they seem fairly empty today. There's still something on the statue here, Haavis Amanda, who is of course the star of the May Day celebrations and gets a hat or student cap, traditionally worn on Vappu. It's just we stopped here at the red light, so we'll look around us a little bit. Water element there has opened. So no more ice on most of the lakes when I've been out of the capital. A little bit of ice though, but it's open waters as well. It was definitely looking like what you see on my Christmas videos further north. I think still northern Finland has a lot of snow. Here the snow has mostly melted after a couple of really sunny days. We're getting there. But it's definitely surprising. It's not what it's supposed to be. It's a bit late. The tourist bus, unfortunately empty, but good to see it going. It must be busier at other times for them to do that. Yeah, the city hall there. Still Ukrainian flag, I think, over there. There have been a lot of sort of support or shows of support around town. You can see the water at the waterfront here at the seaside is open water already, so no more ice. Winter is going. Wow, I think this is not every 20 minutes. I think tourist buses are really, maybe they're trying it out or something. Seems like they're going much more frequently than every 20 minutes. There's the market hall there, which I visited around Christmas as well. Lovely building. walk over to the market square. I didn't really say anything about a route, but it is central Helsinki, as we've seen before. So going to the waterfront, we'll have a little bit of a look. And then back towards, I think Senaatintori, Senate Square would be nice. Just kind of, well, you can already see the church there. Be nice to have a nice view. And you do have the sort of traditional type of Finnish market here with the I think probably berries and vegetables being sold here. We'll walk by. And then you have your little cafes that have been put up here. Yeah, this would be a very, very, very traditional thing for the summer. Strawberries and the peas as well. That will be something you'll find on most markets around the city throughout the summer. Kind of a traditional thing to get strawberries and peas. You get waffles here and some other snacks. It's very touristy around here for a market. They got sugar-free marmalade. You got sightseeing tours. Some food stalls here. And then just your sort of what you would expect, magnets and other tourist fare. Let's have a look at the water side. And then we can walk over to a Senate Square. These bigger cruise ships will be going to either Estonia or Stockholm in Sweden. And that's to Suomenlinna, which is the island, fortress island, just 10 minutes or so away. We can actually see the church there, the distance. Not the first island there, but the church in the distance a little bit further away. This is the Allas pool, which has both I think a warm side and then a seawater side, which would still be very, very cold. But there is a pool there with great views, and then you got a Ferris wheel, a small one, but still at the back. This would be where you take the ferry over to Suomenlinna. It's a lovely day to be walking around here. It feels definitely a lot warmer and nicer than when I was last here around Christmas. Summer is just around the corner, and it's, of course, a great time. Great time to be in Helsinki. This is the president's official residence. I got some toys. And the cathedral at the back there, Uuspenski Cathedral. Looking really lovely against the blue sky. I wonder what's going on at the president's residences. A few people gathered there. I guess they're just looking at the guards. There will be guards there at the door. I guess they have a guided tour maybe to have a look at the place. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything that special going on. They're just having a guided tour. I had to check, of course, in case there's a president to be spotted. No such luck today. I'm not surprised. I think he did get the coronavirus just recently. So maybe no public appearances for him for a bit. I think I can go through here. This is a crossing where you're supposed to be able to just walk through, which I think I can do if everyone can see me. Okay? Yeah, they can. We're all good. And maybe we'll take Helenankatu, Helena Street. These all the buildings are so beautiful in Helsinki. It's just a really nice place with lots of restaurants like here, dotting these smaller streets. Lovely. I really like these entrances as well. It has a kind of a classic feel. Oh wow. Lovely little red entrance and a door there. I think there was some cafe or restaurant in there. Looked really, really beautiful inside. Here's the view towards the seaside there. We'll go and have a look at the square. There's a little beautiful little shop there selling some kind of, maybe, I don't know, clothes, little design things. This is the Helsinki City Museum. Coming up here. And there's a place for fine watchmaking and pre-owned quality watches. That would be so interesting to see inside. But this is the museum, the entrance to the museum. I've been there once, it was quite fun. It was more sort of, I felt like maybe a little bit more fun for children. And as we're crossing Helenankatu, lovely street. We have a nice view of the Tuomiokirkko, Helsinki Cathedral, with people sitting on the stairs. That's very common, especially as the weather gets nicer. I think more and more people will be making use of those stairs. So the city council has been here for the first time on 1875, 12th January 1875. In this building here. Just noticed that sign now, so a quick translation. This is one of the most beautiful views. Always have to visit around here. If you come to Helsinki, that's a must. It's just in any weather, this is just a lovely, lovely view. Many have these little restaurants and shops around here as well. It's beautiful. And of course, a great place to not feel alone if you're visiting and a tourist. Lots of languages and even tourist buses stopping here. It is really beautiful though. And here's Sofia Street, Sofiankatu. One of my favorites as well. There's a great view if you walk up to the cathedral. Following Sofia Street, you get a really, really beautiful view. Here's a Cafe Engel, another sort of a favorite of people. It's been there for a long time. It's just a really, really nice area, and it will only get nicer as the summer gets warmer and terraces appear around the restaurants. We're already seeing some of that. Oh, that's a really cool bike. Of course, you don't have the weather for bikes all year round here, so around this time is when you start seeing them, people getting their bikes from storage, cruising the city streets, and then let's have one more look here while we wait for the cars, and so beautiful here in good weather. Anyway, then it ends pretty quickly for the weather when you can actually have your bike. Well, you can of course have winter tires for a bike. I don't think most people do it. It's not very nice if it's a snowstorm. So it's very different from the countries I usually spend my time in, like Singapore. Although I have seen more motorcycle parking this time around, even at the sort of hardware stores and supermarkets. So maybe there are more bikes after the pandemic, especially when people have had time for hobbies and maybe changed how they commute. The tourist bus is now over there as well. I don't know what the route is. I have to look that up. Maybe I can do a walk following the tourist bus route. That might be quite fun. They must be stopping at a lot of the places people want to see.
Daddy said there are restaurants in town.
Oh, this is cool. Old machinery there for typing. And some of these lovely little cafes have already expanded to the outside. I just went to a restaurant that did have an outside terrace, but no one's there because the wind is still quite cold. I would say still a little bit too cold to be sitting outside, even though when it's sunny and the wind stops, it's lovely. It's just really, really lovely. But in a couple of weeks, I imagine it will be green. Well, some people are braving it, and they do bring these I'm losing a word here, but the things to warm you up. They do offer you kind of a cover from the wind. So if you do find a sunny spot, it's really lovely outside right now. We already walked through here. I'll just walk past here and make my way to the main street of Mannerheimintie, and we'll loop back from there towards the station. Not a lot of masks around. There is it's basically become completely voluntary on public transport, anywhere inside. People can choose to do it, of course, but you won't see a lot of it. All in all, I'd say the situation has gotten back to normal. We don't need any kind of apps or anything to go inside a restaurant. It's pretty much back to pre-pandemic. Of course, I think it will take a fair bit before it's actually completely back, or if it ever will. But as much as we would expect. I think a lot of people are still working from home, just a lot of businesses have made that possible, so there's maybe a little bit relaxed feel, people having lunch outside and such more. I think even On Finnair flights now, if you fly within Europe, you don't need to wear a mask. But for any of you traveling from Singapore or on long haul flights, I think Singapore is the only one continuing, or one of the few still continuing, as Finnair cannot fly through Russia. If you are getting on one of those flights, at least on mine, it was still compulsory to wear masks. So just something to mention and keep in mind, because Finnair has told basically publicly that you don't have to wear a mask, but you do have to if you fly from Singapore, at least when I did. We're at Keskuskatu, next to Stockman. You might remember that as the street that had the really, really lovely Christmas trees around Christmas. Now with travel easing, I think there is a plan to travel for me as well. Well, definitely traveling back to Singapore in June. Why not? Coming back. And then traveling back to Finland for a bit when the weather will be really, really nice in the summer. And I also have plans to go back to visit London, where I lived for over 10 years. And probably another place in the UK as well, but we'll keep it a secret until that happens. So a few new places, and making use of the travel. I know a lot of people now in Singapore are making use of the travel rules easing, and that's wonderful. I'd imagine we'll see a lot more tourists as well, and already did when I was still back. So that's Mannerheimintie, the main street going through the city. And the old student house. Oh, another thing that always happens during the summer is these ice cream kiosks. And it's a very, very traditional thing to spot around Finland, especially by the Finnish ice cream makers. This would be by Pingviini, which is a penguin, of course. And you have the kind of, I think everyone will have their favorite flavors that they'll look for in one of those. So this is just my attempt to kind of get a bit of a fresh start as we arrive in Finland, to show you where I am at the moment, and also that we'll be having a couple of videos from Finland for the next month or so. The weather should be really nice, the videos should be really nice, so I'm hoping I can show you a different type of Finland from Christmas time, and then we'll be back to Singapore in June. Some students are still wearing their student caps, so their Vappu celebrations, the May 1st celebrations, are probably still going on. So I hope you enjoyed this look at Helsinki. Kind of late spring, early summer look at the moment. And if you'd like to see more videos either from Singapore or here in Helsinki, where I'll be for the next month or so before I'm back, you can always subscribe to the channel, and that's much appreciated if you do. Thank you everyone for bearing with me as well. I had a bit of a break in videos while I was moving and sorting out my general life in between two countries, but we're all good now, and the plan is, like I said, to go back to Singapore in June, then come back to Finland for some really lovely summer weather and we'll see Helsinki then as well. And then back to Singapore again. So that's the plan for the next few months. Please do follow along if you're interested, and thank you so much for joining me today with these views of Helsinki. And I think I am going to walk towards the railway station here while I talk to you. Thank you so much for coming along today. And some really nice packages there. We'll get through the construction site here. Now I just want to catch the view towards Lasi Palace or the Glass Palace here before we end, and also the railway station. This is the shopping center forum here. And there's the railway station. So with that, I hope I'll see you again soon.